Hello, reflectors, our lunar beings. The reflectors are indeed aliens to this planet. They're the only type which are guided by the moon. They're not solar beings, they're moon beings, lunar beings. And they have a very deep connection with the moon. They're only 1.4% of the population, and they're very rare gems when they wake up and are no longer puppet on strings of the program. Reflectors are here to actually reflect the environment and they take really deeply everything in, and they can feel whether there is something off track, where there is something different. They have all these tentacles which feel the environment, and they don't have a definition. All their centers are white and open, undefined as well, and they have only dormant gates which wake up either by the moon or the planets, or by other people's auras. The reflectors have a Teflon aura. It is sampling, tasting, and they don't take in conditioning as the other three types. That's why we call it the Teflon. It's like they're the wine testers of the world. You know, the wine tester, they take a sip from the wine, taste it, smell it, have a feeling for it, and then they spit it out. Same is with the reflector. The reflector takes in the other very deeply, but afterwards this conditioning touches them and is reflected back, eventually with their own energy. And either it is a crooked mirror or a clean mirror with a little bit of coloring from the reflector's energy. Reflectors are here to be able to uplift the other, and they reflect the other. Actually, when you're with the reflector, you can feel like you're in this bubble, which is a very interesting experience. Like the whole world is non-existent when you're with a reflector one-on-one. And you can feel like you're mirrored back. So with the reflector, you can actually fall in love with yourself by seeing yourself in a through different eyes, just by watching the reflector. And this is why the reflector actually reflects also the entire environment. If we think about it, if 1% of the population are reflectors, then there is one reflector on every 100 people. So they reflect the entire environment, the entire community. If the reflector feels good and the energy flow is nice, and this means that he is in an environment which is healthy. And when the reflector feels disappointed and doesn't feel well, then the environment is not healthy. The reflector's signature is surprise. The reflector is surprised by the different. They have awareness for the difference. They're the big agents of the program, because think about it, they have all 9 centers undefined or open. So they can, without any disillusion, I might say, or without anything in the way, they take in the conditioning of the planets, and they feel what is the weather, if we can call that the programming each day, and they see who is not puppet on strings, who is acting differently than the program suggests. And that is why they can be very attuned to that difference. They're looking for that difference, and they're surprised by the difference. So when the reflector, that's why they're the agents of the program, because they can feel really well the energy of the current day, and they see in a very deep way how that affects humanity. The reflectors are born wise because of this openness and taking very deep the other and the conditioning and the planets to taste it and then spit it out with their Teflon aura. They can really see things for what they are. When the reflector wakes up, and it can take a long time. For projectors and for reflectors, it can take a long time to align, simply because they need to experiment for a longer time, especially the reflector, for major decisions in life, like who to be with, who to be in partnership with, in a love relationship, sexual relationship, where to live, what to work, or other major decisions. They need to wait an entire lunar cycle, because the moon circles the mandala, the human design Rave Mandala, within 28.5 days. It goes, the moon, through every single gate of the 64 gates, thus coloring eventually the opposite gate of what the reflector's definition is, and thus creating a full channel. So the reflector can sometimes change to the other three types within 1 month, which doesn't mean that their aura changes. They stay reflector all the time, but they can feel manifestor energy, and in those days they can feel like they manifest things, or if they feel the generator energy, they can feel they can do a lot of stuff during that day, or projector energy to guide. The reflector has all of that, but they don't change type. Their aura doesn't change. They stay reflector. It is only their energy which can feel like it's different. And this is exactly what gives them stability, because the moon goes through exactly the same sequence every month. So it will give them exactly the same definition every month, in exactly the same way. So when this is like a song to which a reflector can tune themselves into and actually gain stability, feel like they are centered through this repeating song. This is what their lunar energy gives them. But patience is the key here. It can be a good habit the reflector can adopt, is once there is a question that came towards them, an initiation, somebody initiated them into something, or they try to figure out what to do, to write down the date and follow up what's happening, and write down each day how their perspective changes. And then at the end of the 28-day cycle, they can feel eventually what is the correct decision for them. They need people to soundboard with, to talk to them, to tell them what they feel, what they experience during those 28 days, and see how these might change or not. And when they talk, to listen to how they experience things, it gives them clarity, a lot like the emotional people. And then the reflector can see what their truth is. So dear reflectors, you're so precious. The most important for you is the right place. You have an open G center, so the right place is the right environment, and you can feel the right environment, whether you feel good